Hi, I'm Violet. Today I'm making an X-Base tutorial for a 3D cuff, kind of like this one. I just made this, just finished it. So yeah, I guess let's get started. One thing is I'm really bad with videos and all that kind of stuff, so I don't know how to cut and put them together. I've never done this before. So I'm just going to shoot straight through. Once you get it, just skip forward so I can show you, how to do the last row so that each side is even. All right. So first what you do is you decide what colors you want. I have dark blue and purple. Eventually this is going to be turned into like a galaxy cuff. So how you start is the first row, if I can explain it, you do 2 of your main color bead and then 1 of your like connector bead, I like to call it. And that becomes the first row like this, where it's 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. Oh, and then this is the cuff I'm actually working on right now, but I started a new one just so I could show you the X-Base process. And so like your connector bead is going to be like, this one's all white and then the main color is clear. So I started off with my connector bead color. You don't have to. You just have to make sure that there's always a connector bead when you end in between your main colors. So I always use a needle. It makes it a lot easier for intertwining because there's so many pieces of string going through the same bead. And I use, it's the colorful thick elastic cord. It doesn't really matter. I use 1.2 millimeters for my cuff. A lot of times I change to 1 millimeter at the end of the cuff because I use like, crazy beads like this and stuff. They're really hard to string through. And like I was finishing my cuff the other day and it took me like 20 minutes to get the last bead through because the last piece of string through because the hole was just too small. Anyway, back on track. So you can make it any size, obviously, any colors. I'm just doing it simple for tutorial's sake. But yeah, so I'm gonna finish this row. And the needle makes it really easy to put the colors on. I always have trouble getting the bead on the string. I don't know if that's because I'm a peasant or if other people have that trouble. Especially because the string likes to get frayed and stuff, and I always end up cutting it. But I find that the needle's really easy. Also, I heat the needle up. It's so black on the end because I heat it up and like poke it through my purlers, and I like through toys and stuff that don't have holes. So I mean, it just looks like a crack needle. That's okay. Okay. Okay, let's see if this is... The fuck did I do? Oh, it is 2. Okay, I was like, what the fuck? Okay. Oh, I messed up at the beginning. Ooh, that was close. Okay, Violet. Okay. Alright, so this is what I have. I fixed the mistake I made at the beginning, so that's cool. And then I just tie it obviously on the side that doesn't have the needle. And this string is really nice to get cuffs really tight. I don't like them when they're really loose because they get saggy when you do the outer work, which is why I use the 1.2. It's a little bit thicker. So then I just cut off the excess. I almost cut myself. Okay, so the second row is kind of where it gets more complicated, which is where most people get confused. So you do one of your main color, you do your connector bead color, and then your main color again, and then you string it through the next connector color. And it should look like that. So then you just do this all the way around. And I always make sure to tighten it a lot every time, because again, it will get saggy. Sometimes when you're making the cuff, it will go outward like this. The last row will bring it together so that it fits nicely. I feel like I should be playing music or something. I'm like over here making candy in silence. I never do that. Don't mind the tritonal. We're definitely getting ready for Life in Color right now. So, pretty stoked about that. Hopefully anyone that views this video is gonna be at Life in Color. And you can hit me up and we can make some sick trades. A coffin singing tutorial video. Yeah, actually, no. Don't worry, guys, I can do that too. Okay, so I'm on the last one for the row, and you'll see that it looks like this. It looks really weird. What you do is you string the bead on like normal, with the main color, the connector, and then the main again. And what you do is you just string it through the connector that you started at. And it will look normal like that. And then to go to the next row, you're just going to string up through so that your string is coming through the connector. And then you do it all over again. I'm just going to do a 1X base cuff, so this tutorial isn't 900 years long. But yeah. And what makes 1X is this one right here, not the one that's at the, oh shit, you can't even see that. Okay, it's this one right here under the two, or over the two, not the original bottom connector color. So I'll show you what that looks like when I'm done with this row. So again, you just do the same thing, main color, connector, main, all the way around.
I get to learn how to do this. I don't have to watch this.
My sister's going to Life in Color, and it's going to be her first show ever. She fell in love with tritonal, and I like to think that as a little victory on my part. So I feel pretty good about that.
See, this is the video you posted. Oh, it's over there.
Episode of Tritonia back at you again this week with us, Tritonal, and of course, some new tunes that we're excited.
Sorry, I'm like
This weekend you're gonna find us
video bombing.
and finally making our way back up to Montreal to play City Gas tonight. One of our favorite venues to play. We're so pumped for that, so we'll see you guys there.
So excited.
We hope that your weekend is off to a great start, so let's keep that up as we dive into the show this week. Alpha Rock and Seven Skies led the way with In Switch, and next up is Firewall by Jaden Jackson here on Tritonia. Turn this up.
Oh my... My needle came off. Like flung across the room.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oops.
God damn it. Of course it's gonna be a jerk. There we go.
That's not uncommon.
I stab myself like 90 times a day with this thing. Ow! Like that. Okay. Okay, so I am on the last one again. So it's the same thing. You just do main, connector, main, and you string it through that, the first, let's see, the first connector bead of the row. So I'm going from this bead to this bead. And it should look like that. Like that. And then, so to get to the next row, you go up through the two to the next connector bead right there. So for the last row, you'll see that that's a little X. So that will be one X. If I started the next row, it would put the connector bead for the next X. So, like this is a 3X cuff right here. Let's see, can I turn it inside out? So it would be like 1, 2, 3 X's. Don't count these ones. There will be 4. There will be always one more to the actual of these connector beads than to the actual X's. So for the last row,
There's a new remix tomorrow coming out.
Yeah, I know. You do 2 beads like the first row, but instead of doing a connector bead, instead of doing a connector color, you go straight to the next connector that's available. And then you pull it tight, and that will make it to where it like stands up straight and it makes it even. little baby cuff. I didn't even realize. Wrist cuff, holla! This one might only fit on me. Oh, it's gonna be so little. Okay. And then for the last row, it's just the same. You connect it through that the closest connector bead, and that is the cuff. Just tie it off. Or you don't have to tie it off if you're gonna keep making it, but oh, I guess it's not that little. And there it is, cute little X base.